Hi guys, it's Sam. I'm up today with a very late December daily video for you. I'm not actually behind in my December daily or in filming because I film as I kind of create. I'm really behind in doing voiceovers and editing them, so I'm hoping to get them all up for you. I figured it was probably better to share them late than just delete them. So these are days 4 and 5. It's the 20th today, so I'm really sorry about that, guys. But like I said, I will get them up. I've actually finished work now for Christmas, which is dead exciting. So I'll try and do some kind of batch editing and get them up. Might bombard you a little bit, so apologies for that. But I do want to get them up and share them with you because I've really enjoyed doing it. And hopefully I'll be back up to date on, the last few days I'll actually put on the right days. So fingers crossed I'll get there. So like I said, this is day 4 and 5, and I'm using the prompts from Create December, which is being run from Brie, A Documented Journey, and Heba, My Little Journal. And this was day 4. And the prompt for day 4 was fun. I'm really enjoying these prompts because they're not, as I've said in other videos, if you've been kind of following this little mini-series, they're not specifically based on photos or journaling or scrapbooking or, they're not targeted. You could do whatever you want with them. So I've taken this one to be just a kind of scrapbooky page and a fun day out that I had with my family. There was an Etsy Made Local event going on near my mum. She lives in Preston and they had it in the kind of Preston Town Centre. And I haven't been into Preston Town Centre for years, so that was really good fun. And we just went out for a bit of a Christmassy day. Like I said, I've only just finished work for Christmas, so I wasn't really feeling particularly Christmas quite yet, but it was nice. All the lights were up and obviously all the Etsy sellers were there with all the kind of crafts and presents and things. So it was a really nice day. And I just managed to snap some pictures. We wandered into town afterwards to find something to eat, and I got some pictures of us all kind of walking around the shops and all the lights on. So I just wanted to put that in as kind of a fun day out to go with this prompt for day 4. So you've just seen me layering up the picture. I found kind of a scrap piece of paper. You can see the torn white edge of it that I wanted to use in that corner. And I've just layered it up with a doily and then matted the photo with some tissue paper that I got. I think I got it from the Poundland. It's so easy to get hold of, especially this time of year. So I'm just having a route now through my kind of ephemera and decorative pieces to see if there's anything to add to it. And I found this gorgeous little acetate piece that says totally fun. And obviously fun is the prompt, so that worked well. So I'm just looking at how to stick that down because obviously it's clear, so I don't want to see kind of blobs of glue through it. And I managed to find a number 4 as well, which was perfect. So I'm just having a last kind of rummage through and check in. I don't think I find anything else. Just to have a play around really and see what I can put on that page. So I managed to stick it with double-sided tape and I kind of scratch it down and you can't see it. If you kind of scratch it and get all the air bubbles out of it, you can't really see it. So that works well for me. And then I just need to find a spot for this number 4 really. So I'm really loving how quick these are as well. I've speeded this video up twice, so it took me about just under 30 minutes, I think it was. But that was for 2 days. Obviously, I've got day 4 and day 5 in this video. So they're taking me about 10 to 20 minutes each per page and per prompt. So that's really not bad, and I can kind of do that whilst I'm sat having a brew in the morning or on an evening whilst tea's cooking sort of thing, because I scrap in on the dining room table, so it's nice and easy when tea's cooking and could just sit and play with some goodies for a little bit, and I'm really enjoying it. I think that's why I'm really kind of getting into my junk journaling, because they're so quick. I usually do scrapbooking, project life, art journaling, and I need a little bit longer to do those sort of pages. I think the junk journaling I'm much less fussy about, and it's kind of just stick and plonk, and if I like it, it's going in. And it's just for me anyway, isn't it? It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I've just added a little decoration to that tag that was already in the book. It's punched through the page and call that spread done. Obviously I've just added a bit of journaling to the doily side on the left as well. And then just flip over, and this is carrying on the same day. I just had some extra photos that I wanted to put in really, so I'm just going to continue that. And that's the museum, Harris Museum, where the actual event was. So I've got a picture of the outside of the museum because it had the gorgeous Christmas tree and all the lights up. And then I've got a picture of the inside, you can see that big circle, and we were up on the 3rd floor looking down. And you can see, it's not really obvious in this video particularly because it's a small picture, but it does show all of kind of the Etsy sellers around the edge of on the balcony, and down at the bottom there's a cafe as well, and it's got a big swinging pendulum clock that hangs right from the top of the building down that centre and into the middle of the cafe. It's kind of a cool feature. So I've been going here since I was a kid, and like I said, I've not been for years, so it was just nice to kind of capture that. I remember the clock from being a kid, and obviously you can see all the Etsy sellers on the picture. So I just wanted to add that in. And then on the right hand side there's a picture of Paddington, who is in one of the shop windows looking very Christmassy, so I wanted to include him as well. So I'm trying to find a way of getting these 2 pictures of the museum and the event on the same page. And I think because I've put that kind of backing card down, which has got rounded corners, I decided that that was why it wasn't looking right, because the photos didn't have rounded corners. So around the corners of that top one, which works well because the photo's got that big circle in, so that fits nicely. But it's still not fitting with the photograph underneath it. I still can't, it's like they're just too big. I don't really want to trim them down any smaller. Don't want to round the corners of the bottom one, so I'm kind of in an ahhing. It's not standing out enough. It's just, I'm fighting with this one. So I decided I'm going to mount them onto tissue paper, just so that it kind of separates the two pictures, but obviously it's not a solid edge to it, so it's not kind of matting it on a card or something, which would not help, I don't think, because it would just add to that harsh edge and the clashing of the two photos. Is that it? Am I explaining that right? I hope you know what I mean. So the tissue paper is just a bit softer, and I just thought it might look like it was sort of floating a little bit more. But it's a very similar colour to that backing card, so it doesn't really stand out. I tried to do a bit of texture and a torn edge on the bottom. That didn't work because it just ripped behind the photo, so now I've no tissue paper there, and it's not playing for me. It's really not working. So decide I'm going to trim the photo down so that at least it's the same length as the tissue paper, because it looks really odd at the minute. Try tucking it in behind the photo. That's not going to work. It's just not playing. So now I'm going to try and mat the other photograph, see if that helps. Try and kind of lift that one off the background as well, and layer it up a bit. So I'm just playing, really. It's not working, and I'm not sure why. So I'm just going to try lots of different things to see what I like and what I don't like. Decide to try and learn from my mistake on the last one as well, and instead of kind of cutting it and then trying to rip it smaller, which obviously didn't work, as you saw on the last picture, decide to leave a little bit of extra space so I can do that torn edge along the bottom of this one with the tissue paper. So just trimming it to make it nice and neat, and then just adding a little bit of texture with that ripped edge. I mean, like I said, I'm just playing around. I'm not entirely sure why it's not working, what it is that I don't like about it, but those two pictures together aren't working for me. So I decided to try and take one of them off. You'll see, there we go. And that one I think works really nicely. The outside of the museum looks really nice on there, but now I've got that one with the clock that I don't know what to do with. So when I made the book, you can see on the right hand side, that's a vellum envelope, like a little bag. So it's open on the other side at the back of the book, but this one I left sealed, and I wasn't entirely sure what to do with it. So I've decided, because those two pictures of the museum are not playing with me, I'm going to move on and do the next page and come back to it. So I'm working on that little vellum bag now. And when I made the book, I stamped this little bear image that you can see where he's pointing to the star. So I think that works perfectly to put the Paddington photo on. But again, I wanted him to stand out, so he's getting tissue paper as well. I'm enjoying putting tissue paper behind at the moment. I think with the junk journal as well, because it's meant to kind of feel junky. I don't really use tissue paper so much in my scrapbooking, but in here it seems to be on every spread. And I just like that it can have the kind of torn edges, but it doesn't add too much bulk as well. So I'm just adding Paddington there, and it's quite cute because it looks like the little stamped bears pointing at him, so that works really nicely. And it was literally just a shop window that I liked and just thought it was really cute, so I'm putting him on there. Decided that on that left-hand side, now that I know where the Paddington photo's going, I can kind of look at it as a double page spread. And on the left-hand side, the picture I felt needed to be at the bottom to balance out the Paddington picture at the top. So now that I've got a kind of a starting point of the Paddington picture, it's making it a little easier for me. So I decided to open up that bag. Like I said, I left it when I made the journal because I didn't know whether I'd use it as a page or an envelope. And now it seems that I've got this spare picture of the inside of the museum with the clock and the cafe and the Etsy sellers, and it needs a home. So I decided to kind of tuck that in there. And I don't mind that it's not with that first photo. Like I said, it's all the same day, the same event that we went to. It was just because it was a small picture matted on tissue paper, it was a little bit flimsy. So I just wanted to put it on a card just to back that up. And I like the way that that one just sticks out and the colours match. It's got the reds and pinks in that match the Paddington picture. So I decided just to double-sided tape that. Is that a way of putting it? It is now. I'm struggling with my words today. I'm a bit out of practice, guys. So I've stuck that on the card anyway. And I'm just looking for an embellishment because it's just a little bit too small and it just needs something. I do like that circle label, so obviously it just picks up the circles. But then I found this little metal clock piece, and as I said, you can't really see on the picture, but it is a great big clock. So I decided to put that on there as well. And I'm just using sticky glue for that, so just PVA glue just to stick that down. Obviously you'll see it coming through a little bit because it's such a fine detail, but it'll dry clear, so it's fine. And I'm just adding some red string, which picks up the kind of diagonal pattern that's on the tissue paper as well, which I thought was quite a nice little touch. So I'm just adding the little string to that just to remind me of the clock. And then I'm going to tuck that into the little envelope and just tie a knot in the thread just to keep it on. So there we go. So I've got a little journaling spot. And yeah, I'm much happier with how that turned out. I think they were competing too much to try and get them on the same spread. And the back of that card says, please join us for as well. So I can fill in the journaling on that and just explain kind of where and when the event was. So I just like how that's kind of sticking out the side. But obviously now that first page is a little bit empty because I planned on having 2 photos. So that just needs a little bit of something. So I decided just to kind of write a title on there. But I'm looking through my alphas. I really love these green alphas, and they've got like a foliage type pattern on them. They look kind of like greenery or grass. I really like them, but they just blend into that background paper far too much. So I'm just having a look through my washi to see if there's something I can put it on to make it stand out. I find this white one with the stars, which I really love. I'm not sure where I got this one from, if I'm honest. It's probably going to be in one of my recent haul videos. Let me think. Oh no, I did. I got it from the Works. These are in the Works and they're £1 each. So I've not really used much of it yet, but it's absolutely stunning, this one. And it's quite white. And some washes, when you put them on, they kind of go see-through and you can just see the stars. But this one does keep the white. So I thought that would work, but it's still blending in quite a lot. So I'm just going to have another look through my alphas and see what else I've got. I've kind of pulled a pile of Christmassy colours out and put it in my kit. If you've seen the setup video, you'll see I've got kind of a separate box and kit for my December daily stuff. And so I found these really dark red, so I thought they would work. And I do really like them. I'm glad I've used them, but what's really annoying me about them is that they're all different fonts. I know they're supposed to be, that's kind of the intention with them. But I don't like that C particularly with the big fat bit up the top. But there wasn't another one, so there we go. So it doesn't matter, it looks fine when it's done. But they are all different fonts on here. So I'm just going to write out magic. I could have cut this bit out for you really, couldn't I? Instead of making you sit through all of the stickers and the sticking. But sorry guys, it'd be a pretty short video if I cut out all of the little edity bits though. So there we go, I've just written magic across there. And I think it's just nice having the little washi poking out as well with the little stars through it. That just kind of echoes that. And then there's that tag that was already part of the book. And there's obviously the blue bird on there, which matches the background card. So that's another spread done. And that was it for day 4. I'm sorry I didn't pick that up and show it you closer. I should have done. Message to future Sam doing future videos. Make sure you show people what you're doing. Goodness me. So the prompt for number 5, day 5, was adventure. And I had this gorgeous picture of me and my lovely new hubby in Preston Town Centre at the on the main high street where all the kind of pretty lights are and things, just outside where Paddington was actually. So I decided to put that on because I'm newly married and it's all a big adventure. I decided that he was my biggest adventure, and that's what I wanted to talk about on this one. So this is a really quick layout. I found these big puffy stickers that said adventure in gold glitter. I found a number 5 in my stash as well that happened to be gold. So I'm just having a look through my other stickers, and I wanted it to write you are my biggest adventure, but I couldn't find biggest in any alpha anywhere. I don't mind that all the alphas don't match either and all the stickers don't match, but could I find it anywhere? No. And I didn't really want to spell it out. I wanted kind of tiny word stickers or something like these where it's a full word. This one was like a foam sticker. This adventure. Oh my goodness, did it not want to come off that page. Honestly, I thought I was going to rip the foam rather than just get the sticky off. It was a bit of a nightmare, but I managed to get it eventually. And I love how that gold sparkle looks on the kind of old colouring in paper behind it. I really, really like that. So, and then I found this big U as well on one of my old kind of scrap thicker pages. I do put like old, not old, but any sticker bits where I've used up all the bits that I want to use and I've just got a few left, I stick in my art journal and junk journal kind of pile. So that was from these. And then I'm just using some Tim Holtz tiny word stickers, which, like I said, I wanted to write you are my biggest adventure, but they didn't say biggest. So I'm going to have to rummage through. I found most magical. So that was what it was. I wanted amazing or biggest or anything, couldn't find any of that. So whether I've used them, I'm not sure. So I just have you are my most magical adventure in various stickers and thickers and word stickers. And I just want to stick that number 5 down as well. And my other half's nice black coat just worked perfectly. So I can put that number 5 in that bottom corner. And then I think I just add that little arrow. That's it. And call this one done. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'd love a thumbs up if you did. And I promise I'll get the rest of them up soon. I'll see you next time. Bye.